whatever the disease, some cancer, something comes, they need to sell their properties and they need to get the loans, and some of the deaths are happening just because they're unable to bear the cost of the health insurance. Lot of people become a bankrupt with their risks. So health insurance covers really in a better way if you choose in a right way. Now I want to talk about the misunderstood understandings about health insurance can lead to financial difficulties and unmet healthcare needs. Common misconceptions include people will think that I have the insurance policy, everything is taken care. It's not correct. All medical expenses are covered. That is also one of the assumptions. That is also not correct. Reality is not all expenses are covered. Policies have exclusions, limits, and specific conditions for coverage. Some treatments, pre-existing conditions before the waiting period, like cosmetic procedures, the non-essential services, may not be covered. Like that, the room rent cappings. All policies won't cover the 100% of the room rent coverage. When you take in the policy or when you're having the policy, I want you to check that what is the limitations and exclusions you have. One of the other assumptions is my coverage starts immediately. As soon as you pay the premium, there is an assumption that my coverage starts immediately. The reality is health insurance policies often have waiting periods for certain conditions, including pre-existing diseases, maternity benefits, and specific treatments. Emergency coverage may start immediately, but other benefits might take several months to years to activate. My recommendation is when you holding the policy or when you buying the new policy, first understand that what covers from when it covers. What is the pre-existing ailments you are having right now? Is that covers or not? If that covers from when it covers, you check with your advisor or your bank or your insurance company and note down with your own language all the insurance document. Some of the terminology you might not familiar and it may look like something, understand in your own way. For that, I want you to check with your advisor what it means, what it is and what it is not, and note down in the policy document in backside some white paper, some diary, what is your policy covering, what is not covering, what is your network hospitals, what kind of treatment it is covering, what is the limitations. Please note down in your own language. And pre-existing conditions are always covered. That is another assumption. No, it's not covered. Pre-existing conditions are covered in a group health insurance. And reality is coverage for pre-existing conditions usually comes with a waiting period, which can range from a few months to several years. Some policies may not cover certain pre-existing conditions. Certain diseases won't cover forever. I want you to check what it is and what it is not. Suppose cosmetic coverages won't cover, even though after some time also. Some of the acupuncture, some of the traditional and Ayurvedic, some of the policies won't cover the treatments. I want you to check and note down. Then that will give you peace of mind. And another assumption is cashless treatment is available anywhere. The reality is, as I said earlier, cashless treatment is not only available in network hospitals. Receiving treatment outside this network requires paying upfront and seeking reimbursement later. And once insured, always insured. That is the another assumption. Policies are subject to renewal terms. Insurers can refuse to renew based on claims, history, or significant health changes. Regularly reviewing and renewing policies is very crucial. Your health insurance policy is limited for only 1 year. You have to renew the policy after a renewal period is over or before that. But subject to change, basing on your health conditions or claims history, your insurance company is willing to renew this policy, or they may increase the premium, or they may change some coverages. There may be some changes. So for that, I want you to check that your policy is on force or not. That is one of the important aspects. And another assumption is cheaper premiums means better deals. It's not correct always. The reality is lower premiums often come with higher deductibles, co-payments, or limited coverages. It's important to balance premium costs and with comprehensive coverage needs. You should not discount the coverage for the reducing the premium. That you really need to take care about. That assumption you have to know that. And another assumption is health insurance covers everything. The reality is policies have specific exclusions and limitations. Cosmetic surgeries and alternative treatments and non-prescription drugs are commonly excluded. Reading the policy details is essential. And another assumption is insurance companies always pay the full amount. No, that's not correct. The reality is many policies have sublimits and co-payments. Insurers may only pay a portion of the total bill, requiring policyholders to cover the rest. Another assumption is healthy individuals don't need a health insurance. That's not at all correct. Each and every human being need a health insurance for a peaceful treatment, peaceful well-being. That is well needed. The simply saying the benefits of health insurance is comprehensive and timely coverage and cashless coverage at network hospitals and tax benefits, and family health cover and cumulative bonus for additional care and a peace of mind in emergencies. Whatever I am till now, for this purpose I explained all this now. I want to explain about key terms of health insurance. There are some terminology. When you are buying a health insurance, some kind of the terms you are not familiar or you don't know what it is and what it is not. The one of the key term of health insurance is deductible. What is deductible? The amount the policyholder must pay out of the pocket before the insurance company starts covering the expenses. Higher deductible typically results the lower premiums. And I recommend take a full coverage with a less deductible. Otherwise, you won't enjoy the benefits of the health coverage through insurance. In some of the cases, whoever is having some ailments where the insurance company is not willing to cover 100%, in that cases only I recommend to take a sublimits or deductible. The next one is co-payment. Co-payment is suppose every 1 lakh claim comes. When you are taking the policy, there is a co-payment option. 10% I will pay or 20% I will pay or 50% I will pay. That is the option. Usually this option when a employer is taking the policy for employees. To secure the policy or to control the misusing of the coverage, usually employer put this 10%, 20% or 50% co-payment option. Such a way that the employee will be manage the policy in a responsible way. So his pocket he has to pay some percentage and some percentage through company policy employer will pay. This is the co-payment option. This is called a co-pay. The another term is co-insurance. The co-insurance percentage is usually won't impact on the customer. It is in between the insurer to insurer. The insurer will do the co-insurance with other insurer also to do the sharing of the risk. It is company to company. And out of pocket maximum on another term. The maximum amount the policyholder must pay for covered services in a policy period. After reaching this limit, the insurance company pays 100% of covered expenses. That is the minimum pocket expenses. There is a term in the policy. Before you are taking the policy or your existing policy, I want you to check that. And exclusions. Another term is exclusions. Specific conditions or treatments that are not covered by the policy. Common exclusions include cosmetic surgery, certain experimental treatments, and alternative therapies. Those things usually exclusions. And please be mindful what are your policy exclusions. And the waiting period. Most important time is a lot of people will get upset when they came to know that their policy is, the risk is not covered, there is a waiting period. Usually for diabetic and high BP, these kind of ailments, that insurance company will put a waiting period, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, depend upon the diagnostic reports. And please be mindful about when your policy is after waiting period covers the certain diseases. And another term is pre-existing condition. That is also existing disease only. For the disease, what is the depend upon the medical condition that already exited before the start of the insurance policy. Coverages for these conditions often comes with a waiting period. And some diseases, as I told earlier, it won't cover also. And another normal term is claim. A claim is a request choosing the right health insurance policy involves careful consideration of various factors to ensure it meets your healthcare needs and financial situation. When something happened to you, when you are applying for the reimbursement or cashless, that's called a claim. That is the term from insurance company. All this process, choosing the right health insurance plan is very mandatory. Then only you can have the proper benefits of the health insurance. Uninsured people receive less medical care in a timely manner, have worse health outcomes, and large financial burdens. The benefits of expanding coverage outweigh the costs of added service. Friends, you might see that lot of families, whatever the disease, some cancer, something comes, they need to sell their properties and they need to get the loans, and some of the deaths are happening just because they are unable to bear the cost of the health insurance. Lot of people become a bankrupt with their risks. So health insurance covers really in a better way if you choose in a right way. Further, the step one is go for a high sum assured. Why I said high sum assured is, if you are taking a high sum assured, the premium rate is less. If you can distribute like a base policy and top-up policy, I am going to explain that. Take a small top-up policy like 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs coverage, and rest of the 40 lakhs or 90 lakhs with very less premium. You will get up to 1 crore. Some of the diseases, some of the hospital expenses, not even sometimes 1 crore is also not enough. But overall experience of the health claims are approximately 70% of the claims are below 10 lakhs. But nobody knows who will fall in the cadre of the 30% pool. So for that purpose, everybody, I recommend minimum 50 lakhs to 1 crore health insurance is really required. For that purpose, go for a high sum assured, the minimum 5 to 10 lakhs rupees base policy. Rest of the policy is in a top-up policy. While you are taking this policy and base policy and top-up policy, the second step is compare the premiums. Which company is offering for your age what premiums and how many years. What I mean by how many years is, one is that I identify which company is giving you lifelong, like 80, 100 years, which company is offering the policy. The second is, some of the premiums are not yearly premium. Some of the top-up policies are offering for 3 years premium also with the less premium. If you pay at a time for 3 years, you don't need to pay every year. After 3 years again you have to pay like that. And while you are paying this, taking this policy, buy a family floater. That also will give you advantage of the less premium. Suppose if you are taking a 10 lakhs rupees policy, in your family member, like wife, husband and 2 kids, whoever is getting any treatment, anybody can use this 10 lakhs. In the process, your premium cost is very lesser. The next thing was consider waiting period. As I said earlier, this waiting period is very crucial. Check that they depend upon your age and your pre-existing any diseases. The next thing was compare health insurance. How to compare health insurance? Their premium value, their service, their claim settlement ratio. It is available in the Google. Just to type it, claim settlement ratio of like Tata AG, like Star Health, whatever the Care Health Insurance, Magma, these companies' names health insurance, you can check and it is available in the Google or IRDA website also it is available. And I strongly recommend go for a lifetime renewable plan. Lot of insurance companies may offer policies till 60, 65 or 80. But make sure which company is offering whole life. Those kind of policies I want you to take. Why? Because majority of the people up to 50, 60, there is no hospital need and there is no requirement. But majority of the claims come after 55 or 60. Make sure that entire your lifetime your health insurance is covered.